Hi and welcome. So this isn't going to be a vlog, it is going to be a little bit of a rant. So if you have been watching my vlogs, then you will know that I'm currently in the process of doing a switchover on the UK benefit system over to the new system, which is known as universal credits. And this afternoon I got a message on my universal credit account saying that they couldn't verify the information that I had given them regarding my housing. So more information is going to be needed, and I'm pretty sure it's something to do with it's like this small minor detail is what has messed up the entire thing and has caused them to ask for more information. So let's go back a little bit. When I first moved into this property over 10 years ago now, it was with a different letting agency entirely, and it has changed hands quite a few times over the course of that time. I want to say at least like maybe 5, give or take. So when I made the application, I put down the original date that we moved in, and basically they seem to think, and it's difficult because obviously they don't know this information, and since it has changed so many times, I obviously thought that when they said, when did you move into this property, how long have you been there, I gave an honest answer. But because it has changed hands so many times, and the last time I think it changed was like 5 or so years ago, I'm not really sure, I'd have to look. The letter of information that I requested from my current letting agency, of course, gave the time period from when they were the ones that were handling us, and I hope that I'm explaining this correctly. It's a little bit of a jumble. So yeah, now they're wanting more information because they're saying that what I've said, which is true, doesn't correlate to the letter that I had to upload as part of my application. And now they want a hecton of more headed letters from my letting agency, and it's just caused like so much stress. And I really needed to just come on and talk about it. I feel like no matter what you do, they're gonna try and catch you out, even though I've been honest to the best of my ability, but yeah, it's really causing a lot of hassle. I have approximately a week to get the new updated information from my letting agency and upload that, and just have my fingers crossed that that is going to be enough. I don't think there's going to be any other issues. Fingers crossed. But you never know. It's literally one of those waiting games that I'm having to go through, and it's not helped my mood, my mental state. I'm trying to deal with something else that's happening right now that I can't talk about. It's really close to home, and I'm trying to deal with, trying to get this application sorted and trying to deal with this really serious issue that's happening, and of course try and maintain some kind of normality within my household, but I'm having a really difficult time with it. And that's really why I wanted to come on and have a little bit of a rant, get it off of my chest. I have requested the new information. I did that more or less immediately from my current letting agency, so it's just going to be a little bit of a waiting game. But because the application is time sensitive, it's making me really nervous. I don't want to have to be without my main source of regular income, because it's already taking a toll, a heavy toll, and I'm finding it really difficult to concentrate, and I haven't been vlogging to the best of my ability just based on that fact alone, never mind all the other things that are going on. And I want it to be over. I do. I want it to be over, and I want to get back to normal. I want to do vlogging and not have to worry about this issue. I don't like how it's worked out this way, because it's trying to make out like I've been dishonest in some way, which is why they're now asking for a whole new load of information, with headed letters from my letting agency, such as updated tenancy agreements. We recently had that change in rent as well. That's also gone up, so they want, you know, verification of that. It's like, well, you know, this is going to my letting agency. That money doesn't come to me. That's, you know, it's got nothing to do with me. But they could quite easily contact the letting agency and get all this information directly from the source and have them send over information. And, you know, that would have taken some of the pressure off of me, but I'm assuming it's all done with a purpose and a reason at the end of the day. But it doesn't make it any more easier on me, because this application process is a lengthy one. The current wait time is, I think it's like a month to 6 weeks, give or take. And as I'd already previously said, it's already been a good stretch of time at the time of recording this. It's really upset me. And again, that's why I had to come on and talk about it. I get that they need this information in order to process my application, but again, because it's such a short time frame that I now have to work with, it's making me a lot more anxious than if my application had been looked at, say, a week or so ago. Then I would have had 2 weeks instead of just one, because I am coming up to the deadline point, and I don't know what will happen if, you know, they don't have sufficient information regarding my situation. I just wanted to come on and talk about that. I know that this whole process has been criticised a lot, and Andrew and I were feeling really anxious about doing it in the first place. I'm pretty sure I mentioned this all the way back in March, and we finally got the letter to do the switchover by the first week of August, the second week of August. And yeah, we literally left it until the start of August, I want to say, just because we were dreading it so much. And I absolutely appreciate all of the criticism now, because I'm actually going through this incredibly stressful and perhaps unnecessarily drawn out process. I don't really understand why we needed to re-give information that they already had access to via tax credits. I don't get that at all. I don't know why they couldn't have just used that information and, you know, taken some of the stress and load off of the many people who do require this specific benefit in order to stay afloat. As I say, I'm all over the place, and I would really like to get back to vlogging, to normality, to have this all done and dusted, but it's still being drawn out. I don't know. I just want it done and gone, and to not feel like I've done something illegal, criminal, whatnot. It's definitely testing me. I've had some really dark moments, and it isn't, like I said before, it's not just because of this. There are other things going on, because, you know, when one thing happens, everything else has to fall apart at the same time. Everything. I'm probably just repeating myself at this point, but if you stayed this long, thank you so much for hearing me out. It's not a good system whatsoever, and the system that is the benefit system, they could rapidly reduce the turnaround time if they did just a teeny weeny little bit of legwork for themselves. And that's all I'm really gonna say about it. It's really just to say that I appreciate wholeheartedly every single TikTok video that I've ever watched criticising this system. I know you're only doing your job and only going by what the government tells you to do, but it can definitely take a mental toll on the people who do apply for it. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. And again, thank you so much for listening to this little rant. I hope it doesn't make you unsubscribe. We will get back to regular viewing at some point in the near future, I promise you. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you again very, very soon.